Roblox! Roblox! It's terrifying. It may look like a silly little kids game on the surface, but if you go digging deep into the Roblox lore, you'll find something you will never suspect. This website/games lore is the most complicated thing ever. Yes, even more complicated than FNAF, and yes, even more complicated than this garbage. Now, let me take you to the deep end of the Roblox lore. Let me tell you a story.
On November 11th, 1998, at 3:32 a.m., the Roblox user known as D was creating a game called Meeting House for Pro Flicker Lemons. Everything seemed normal at first. They were just doing their own thing using the Roblox studio to create their game. D lived with 4 others. His mom, his dad, and 2 brothers. But an hour later, at 5:30 a.m., he'd be living with 5. A murderer by the name of Aiden Bernal entered his house in Casey, Wyoming at the exact coordinates of 38.8977 degrees north and 77.0365 degrees west. The murderer moved slowly up the stairs and snuck into his first brother's room and shot him dead, with the bullet entering through his frontal bone and exiting out of the zygomatic bone. He died immediately. The house had thick walls or something, so the family members were still asleep, tucked away, cozy in their beds, but not D. They went to the bathroom right as the murderer walked into his brother's room. D heard the whole thing. They peeked outside the bathroom door to see the shadowy figure creep out of his brother's room. And into the next room, his second brother's. D quickly and sneakily ran into his mom's office where he'd been creating the game. He sits in the wooden chair, opens up Microsoft Word, and right as he does that, another gunshot is heard. D knew exactly what just happened, and they knew that they were next. Speedily, D wrote out a note and put it into his Roblox game, Meeting House for Pro Flicker Lemons. But it wasn't called Meeting House for Pro Flicker Lemons anymore. They changed the name to Very Scary. I don't know why they did that, because if it was scary, then nobody would play it. Anyway, D quickly puts the game they created onto Roblox, but while they were doing that, they didn't realize the murderer, Aiden Bernal, was standing in front of him with the barrel of a burst of Thunder 380 pointed right at his head. He looked up from his mom's Mac and was struck with fear. He was unable to move. The thoughts of their 2 now dead brothers kept crossing their mind. They started to cry, tears streaming down their face. D couldn't stop crying. They couldn't let out a single word until they were shot. To this day, no one has found the note that they left in the game, but I think I have finally found it.
Just like murdering is a crime, it's also a crime that you aren't subscribed. When you log into Roblox, you see a lot of dumb garbage for dumb babies. But if you go all the way down to the free private server tab and click over to the Cattenberry and District Bus Simulator V4.1, go to servers and click create free private server, name it, and... Wait, what the heck? Okay. Dang! Oh my god! What the fuck? Now, if you select the Van Hole Astron T916 bus and drive it to the left and stop right at the edge, then reset your character, then select the same bus again, and you should clip out of bounds. Now, while you're out of bounds, keep walking until you get to the empty void. Jump down it and it should send you to Very Scary. There is no other way to get to Very Scary. This is the only way possible. If you play the game and turn 65 degrees left, you'll find a pile of papers. There are 10 different pieces of paper and it's pretty easy to miss. So I took the texture files of each paper and put them into Photoshop. I tried many different methods to make the image less blurry, but nothing worked. Then I decided to take each file and turn it into a text file. And on each of the 10 different paper texture files, there was exactly one number. It went 12, 15, 15, 11, 1, 20, 13, 5, 14, 21. Now, I didn't know what this meant. Was it some kind of secret code? Directions? It could have been anything. So I tried adding the numbers up and walking that many steps. Nothing. Then I tried typing it into game chat. Nothing. Until I realized that if you look at the alphabet, there's only 26 letters. And there's no numbers in this code that go over 26. So I tried replacing each number with the letter in that spot, and bingo! It spelled out, look at menu. So I exited the game and looked around the menu. I couldn't find anything. Until I scrolled down and saw a game called Police Car Emoji, Emergency Response, Liberty Country. This had to be what they were talking about. It makes so much sense. How could I have not seen it before? You obviously call the emergency people when someone gets injured. And Dee and their brothers got seriously injured. So I clicked on it and I could not believe what I found. It looks like a normal Roblox page at first, but if you look at the description, it says read the latest update log here. But there's one problem. That's not an update log. It's a YouTube link. And when I clicked on it, it took me to this playlist about scary things. I didn't know what this meant. Does it relate back to how Dee changed the name of the game to Very Scary? Or was it his favorite playlist? I was stumped. And for days and days of going by every frame of each 30-minute long YouTube video that was in this playlist, something finally hit me. This isn't about the videos, it's about the numbers. And what is the most common number in this playlist? 15. And what's the 15th letter of the alphabet? O. And if you look back at the message that we decoded, look at menu, look only has 2 O's. So what does this mean? What did we prove by finding this? I hear you asking. Let me tell you. Now take an O and what do you see? A dumb little idiot would say a circle, but I see something completely different. It's the end of the barrel of a gun. Now, if you look at a gun from the side, you'll never see this, but if a gun was directly pointed at you, what would you see? The endless darkness of the barrel. This was Dee trying to depict what he saw, but if you look at the word look, you'll realize that there are 2 O's, meaning there were 2 murderers in the house, both carrying guns. We know the first murderer, Aiden Bernal, was caught and arrested, but one thing about his arresting always threw me off. The gun he was found carrying was an R8 revolver, not a Burst of Thunder 380, which Dee was killed with. This was confirmed by the police when I called 911 and asked about it. So where did this Burst of Thunder 380 go? Well, after a few months of research, I think I finally found out. On November 11th, 1986, Aiden Bernal wasn't the only one who was in Dee's house. Aiden Bernal had an accomplice. But who is the question? Now, I thought the videos would have some evidence in them about who the second killer was, but I had no luck finding anything. I didn't know where to look next. I was lost. Stuck. Until a post on r/Roblox appeared. It was pinned by the moderators talking about a user by the name of Narrated by Cody Osborne. The post talks about how the user made an experience called Narrated by Cody Osborne's Place, and how there was a blurred photo at the end of the obby that they made. Now this was pretty odd, that this player out of nowhere got a pinned thread about them. But what really hooked me is when they talked about how this might relate to the Dee situation. With one little Google search of the name Cody Osborne, the first image is some dude who got arrested. But it wouldn't be this easy, right? Right, actually he got arrested for marijuana manufacturing. So I went to check out the obby that the player made, and after a few hours I was able to complete it. And this is what I found. The image that they talked about on the Reddit. Why in a Chick-fil-A play area? Anyways, this was big. If it didn't relate to the Dee situation, I don't know what else would. So I took the texture file out of the game and tried to unpixelate the image. The closest thing I had to go off was this. It may not look like much, but to me, this was groundbreaking. Because if you count the amount of limbs on a human, there are 4. What does that mean? I didn't know at first until I accidentally found it on accident. In my several attempts to beat the obby, I died in this very spot. And it kicked me out of the game and loaded me into this game called DDD. And not only that, it was the exact same layout of my house that threw me off, but outside the building was a cop car with the lights on outside of a building. This could only mean one thing. This was after the murder took place. How do I know that? Well, if you go to Narrated by Cody Osborne's account and scroll down, you can see their favorited games. And what was the only favorited game they had? DDD. Which connects everything back to the mysterious image that was found in their game. Now, all we have to do is find out who this house belongs to. Now, this was going to be a challenge. Just kidding. What have I been doing this entire time with the letters and numbers? That's right, plugging them into the letter number chart. And after looking around for what words I could decode into numbers, I chose Dodgery Doge's office. Why? Well, you'll see in a second. After decoding the word, it came out to be 4, 15, 7, 5, 15, 25, 4, 15, 7, 5. You're probably wondering what these numbers have to do with anything, so I walked up to the computer with the red screen and typed out the numbers, and then... Psych! Those are actually coordinates. So you plug that shit into Google Maps and where does it take you? Where the fuck am I? Now, this isn't the end of the line. We still have one word left. Office. So if you take letters of office and turn them into numbers, add them up, you get 24. Now, you move 24 paces to the left, and you end up at Sammy's Motel. And thanks to the Reddit user XX_BeesChurger_XX, we know to scroll into the window on the very right. And what do we see? A mysterious figure sitting and playing Roblox. And look what he's playing. That's right. DDD. But if you look at the right monitor, you'll see that he's on Discord with some friends. So after several hours of researching and analyzing, I somehow found one of the people he was in a call with that night. I also got them to agree to do an interview with me. Here's how that went.
Hello?
Hello?
Is this Ellen?
Yes.
I love the sauce, don't you? So it's not just ramen.
What's your correlation to the D situation?
I don't know what that is.
What do you mean?
I don't know what the D situation is.
I actually saw you on the call with him.
I have been.
I'm actually...
That wasn't an answer. Can you please tell me what you know and why you're in the call with the creator of that game?
Yeah, I'm actually watching TikTok. Can you hear this?
That Hanzo has a voice line with his husbando.
Sir, can you please get off TikTok? This is a very serious interview. Can you please take this a little bit more seriously? I have a lot of questions written down, and I just need you to get off TikTok and just answer a few of them.
Okay, can I play some white noise?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, ask away.
So, what's your do you know who made that Roblox game?
No, I actually only play Minecraft.
Well, how come you were in the call with them when he was doing it?
I actually only play Block World, so I don't know.
What's Block World?
It's kind of like, Dwarf Miner Z.
Oh, that's actually a game on Roblox.
It's kind of like Terraria.
That game sucks. Can you please get off TikTok? I just have a few more questions I gotta get through. I only have about 50 more. Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Can you just please stay serious? We're almost done.
Yeah.
So have you ever murdered anyone before?
No. I don't remember actually. Sorry. Next one.
What if you were to murder someone, how would you do it?
Probably like quietly.
Go quietly.
Yeah, like maybe like you ever been in a library?
A few times.
Yeah, like that kind of like library kind of.
Okay. Are you sure you haven't murdered anyone before? Do you know anyone who's assisted in a killing?
Yeah, so like in Valorant, if you shoot the same guy as another person, you can assist for the kill sometimes.
Explain that for me.
Okay, so imagine you have Jet, and she's like a girl.
Who's Jet?
She's like girl, win girl. She's kind of like
I really like girls. I really like girls.
She's kind of like win girl, and then you have Lava Boy, and they shoot each
He's in
other.
the game?
Yeah, they basically shoot the same guy. So yeah, it's kind of like that.
And then it's murder.
I mean, yeah.
Put a red heart if you want to come.
Okay. I think that's just about it. Do you actually a few more? Actually, hold on. Let me just count how many we have more. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I dropped my script. I mean my. Sorry,
It's hardcore
Sorry.
Minecraft. Whatever.
Sorry, hold on. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. Please don't leave.
Sorry, I'm
Sorry.
watching TikTok.
Minecraft.
Hold on.
You guys
Hold on.
super
Sorry. Hold on.
And today,
Hold on.
you, the viewer, get the chance to join.
Sorry. Hello.
Join
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, what'd you say?
I was just watching TikTok.
Does the TikTok have any correlation to the murder?
You ever heard this song?
I've heard it on the yeah.
Okay, it actually doesn't.
Just a few more questions. Can you please get off TikTok? I'm sorry, we're almost done. If you could just bear a few more questions with me.
Yeah, I got off.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Because it's been really distracting, and I think you've been doing a really good job. I just want to let you know that. And I'm really,
Yeah, just keep asking.
Okay. So who is it?
Who is what?
Who did it?
Actually can't say because I actually can't. Sorry.
Are you accepting money?
Roblox Builders Club?
I don't think that actually exists anymore. Now, that actually does lead me to believe that you do know the murderer.
You ever played Sonic Speed Simulator?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I saw him in there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually that's helpful. Thank thank you for your time, and I thank you for the really useful information.
Yeah. I hope you find him.
Thanks. I've been trying.
I found him, but
Since this stranger was not cooperating, I had to take matters into my own hands. I started back at the beginning, where it all started. Very scary. What if the answers were right in front of me all along? What if all I needed to do was take a step back and reanalyze? What if I went through every texture file in the game, very scary, and I did just that?
I went through over 1,000 different texture files, and I think I have finally found it. On one of the files for a tree, it says drop the last two. Drop the last two what? This didn't make any sense until I realized that I'm looking back. What does it all start with? That's right, look at menu. Drop the last two. Drop the last two letters. And what does that give you? Look at me. And if you've been in the Roblox theorizing community for a long time, then you know exactly what this is referencing. The song by XXXTentacion. Yeah. Yeah. A. Yeah. A. I'm like, bitch, who is your mans? A. Can't keep my dick in my pants. A. My bitch don't love me no more. A. She kicked me out. I'm like, bro. A. That bitch don't wanna be friends. A. I gave her a dick. She amen. A. She put her tongue on my dick. A.
How does the song relate to the D situation? Well, if you take the most unusual word in that song, tongue, and then plug that word into the letter to number code, it comes out as 20, 15, 14, 7, 21, 5. And what is the 20th letter of the script I've been reading off of? S. And what's the 15th letter? H. And if you keep this pattern up, you'll find out that it spells shadow. Not that one. So that means the only place that would make sense is the original game, Very Scary. Because in the game, there is a shadow monster. So if I take the shadow creature's textures and move them, you'll never guess what I found. If you move the textures, it comes up with this. But if I move these, and if I move the final layer, wait. Oh, I do remember doing that.